So good evening, good evening. A little bit later than usual because this idiot forgot it was Monday. But we are here. Matty should be joining shortly. And we're going to go through the game coming up against Brentford, which is always pretty tricky going there. And obviously, Star Boy's out. So now what? But Jezza, how are you, mate? How was Christmas?
Lovely. Yeah, lovely. It's still going here, by the way. Christmas, it's still happening. We won't believe it. Yeah, I mean, I forgot it was Monday as well, till midday. Yeah, but it's all good, mate. All good. And today I received my free calendar from Arsenal.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so it's they call it Club Moments by Month. It's quite good, actually. Yeah, I've got it free.
They sent something for free, Jez. That don't happen often.
No, it's because I'm a member of the website, and if you're a certain level, you get a free thing. It's worth about £4.50, but there you go.
Has it got any pictures of Win in the calendar?
No, actually, I'm surprised. No. Nice picture of the Gold Square team, though, down the bottom there, 1886. You can't see it, but yeah,
lovely stuff.
I might cut that one out when I finish with it.
Very nice.
Yeah,
there you go. At least you got something for nothing, mate. Yep. Kenny, how are you, mate? How was Christmas?
It was as good as it could be. Most importantly is that we spent a lot of time together. Boxing Day was there for the people, packed house. Obviously, get by as much as you can. But the thing is, I saw some matches. Sorry, Chelsea fans. I don't want to upset you because I've got a lot of friends Chelsea fans. But I actually started watching the Chelsea Fulham game because and then when Cole Palmer scores, I thought, right, let me go over to Tottenham and Nottingham Forest. I wish I didn't because that was such a bad game. But even Spurs lost, so I was happy. But during the second half, I heard that Fulham equalised, so I watched the last 10 minutes. And I have to admit, I was sucking the ball into the net when, when Muniz had that chance. But and then I went to the Arsenal game and I just realised that, it's not every team in the Premiership tries to win a football match. And, you know what I mean? Ipswich were just there to keep the goals down and we were just ran out of ideas. But, people are going to say a win's a win. But I think something more important was on the agenda. And we're going to discuss it later because I think this is massive. And then I think all of us as fans got to, how do I say it? You've got to decide whether you're Arsenal or it's a duty of care to the player. Because i.e. short term and long term. So that's something I think we should discuss because something massive is happening there, and it's something that we've seen coming.
Yeah, 100%. Matty, what's up, bro? Hope you're well. How was Christmas?
Outstanding, brothers. Outstanding, man. Outstanding. Glad to be here. Are we talking about the Ipswich game, or we just started?
Literally only just started. So
I'm coming in hot. So.
I didn't even know it was Monday, mate. That's why this pod's late. I forgot it was Monday. But, yeah, we can start on that horrendous game if you want, or we can just swerve straight to Saka. Up to you guys. I don't mind because that game was a snooze fest.
Yeah. Let's get to the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room here is that in August, and if I was trying to find the clip this weekend, but I couldn't find it to save my life because our shows are a little long. Jez told y'all in August, he said, we are 2 injuries away from capitulation. Last May, me and Lee sat on, and Jez sat on the epic 15-hour emergency stream. We sat right here and told y'all that next season, the injuries are coming. In that same show, Lee stated several times, I went back and watched. He said, what happens if we have an injury to Saliba? What happens if we have an injury to Saka? He said he's running these players into the ground. He's running them into the ground. We get to this season. Early, about third, fourth week in the season, we all sitting here. We all say, hey, these players, he's got to learn, Kenny said, he's got to learn rotation. The manager's got to learn how to rotate his players. Lee comes back and says, hey, man, why is Saka playing this game against Preston North End when we up 3-0? Why is he playing this game? That's what he said. He said that he needs to rest him. Why haven't we bought a right winger in all 5 years since he's been here? Jez comes back. Jez says, you know what? We're winging it. We're winging it, fellas. We're winging it. Players start dropping like flies. That was your warning sign early this season. Calafiore. You had a Party there at 1 second. I think it was Party at one point. Declan Rice broken toe. You had several injuries that we've already seen happen already this year. And then finally, the damn bust. And what did you get last week? What did you get last week? You saw what we've been telling y'all. And people have been sitting here being disingenuous the last 48 hours. I've been looking at some of these folks. And I watched that podcast yesterday, Lee. People are being disingenuous. This manager has sat here after transfer window, after transfer window, after transfer window, after transfer window. We have 6 left backs on the bench this past week at Ipswich. 6 left backs were sitting on the bench. 1 attacking player. We sat right here, this show, this panel, every Monday we told y'all coming into this season, we need bodies on this team. Lee said we had 22, am I correct, Lee? 22 players in this squad, less than what we had last year, and we were supposed to be challenging for a title this year. And these people have sat here and they said we have had 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, whatever you want to say. Some of them give it a 15 if they could. Transfer window this past summer. We spent a whole month on Mikel Merino. We got Calafiore, who is yet to get acclimated to this football club, and he's an injury-prone player, by the way. We signed him; he was injury-prone. Lee went right down the list of injuries that this gentleman has had. Injury-prone players after injury-prone player, rushing back players, pushing. We just saw it 3 weeks ago. Pushing players back onto the pitch, pushing them back onto the pitch. This manager is a career killer. He is a career killer. As Kenny would say, he's a criminal. And now to see Bukayo Saka sitting in that bed on Saturday, to see him sitting there in that bed, it brought back memories. And I told y'all this. I've been saying it all weekend if you've been following me. And when I did the show this past weekend, Jez, you heard me when I said it. Thomas Rosicky all over again. I've seen this before. I've seen this. Was never the same player. Michael Owen, never the same player. These players, these explosive players, have trouble coming back off of these hamstring injuries. Kieran Tierney, everybody, Kieran Tierney. These players have injuries. Have these hamstring injuries, tend to have trouble coming back from it. Whose fault is it? It's the manager, because as a former manager myself, I'll never forget I had a young man, we were in a championship game. He twisted his ankle. He was one of my best players, by the way. He came up to me. He said, Coach, I still can go. I said, nah, shut it down. You done for today. And he got pissed. We got into a big spat about it. We ended up going to penalty kicks, and somebody else had to take his penalty kick, and we won the game. I did that for 2 reasons. One, if something happened in that game where he lost the ball and gave up a goal, everybody would have looked at him and pointed at him. Number 2, I didn't want him going into a penalty kick situation on a busted leg, because it wasn't fair to him and it wasn't fair to the team. As a manager, you as the manager have to learn how to protect the players from themselves. But guess what? He doesn't know that. You know why, gentlemen? Because he has no experience dealing with that kind of situation. I said it this weekend, and I'll say it right here, right now. This manager is inexperienced, and it shows up every single time in a critical situation. This whole situation with Saka was his doing. Inexperience is exactly why Saka's laying at home watching us right now. That's what the problem. That's exactly what this problem is. This manager's inexperience, unwillingness to learn, and his narcissistic behavior. Narcissistic behavior has put us in this situation. And I just told y'all in our group chat now, on my way home, and I'll tell y'all right now, cut the damn spigot off. Not another dime for a player at this football club as long as this manager is here. Because every time he buys something, we end up not having to use, nothing we can use. There's nothing we can use. You ever seen somebody in the family that come home, they bring home some piece of hardware that from the hardware store that's no good, and it's just sitting in the garage. That's what we do with our players. We buy players that are absolutely no good. What is Mikel Moreno going to do in this situation? Anybody? Can somebody explain to me in this chat right now what Mikel Moreno is going to do because he spent money on it? What is Calafiore going to do right now in this situation because he spent money on it? He broke it. He bought it. Let him own this team the way this team is constructed because he created this mess. This is his own doing, ladies and gentlemen. It pissed me off to see Saka like that last week. We sat on that broadcast, Lee, and Lee said, Matt, he's down. He's down. I didn't want to believe it. Because he's gotten up so many times before. But when I realized the reality, when Kenny put in that check, Kenny said, grade 3. And I started thinking, oh, Lord, please don't let it be that. And then what did we get Saturday morning? Grade 3. I already knew. I said, well, that's it. We've seen the best of him. Now you just got to hope he can come back and be productive. It's not the best, just be productive. That's what you got to hope for now. And people are running around here like ostriches with their head in the sand, thinking that this is not a major deal. This is very dangerous. This is a very, very serious situation. Because this man, let me go ahead and put this out there too. He's not coming back this season. He's not coming back this season. And if he does, you'll see him on the last day of the season to make some of y'all feel good so that y'all can go ahead and get tickets lined up for next year, get your jerseys, kits, hats, anything else that you may need. That's the only time you'll see him. I'm sorry, fellas. I had to go on a rant. I'm sick of this. It's every year with this manager. This manager needs to be removed from this football club, and the ownership need to go with him out the door too. I'm sick of all of them. I'm sick of them. This was all preventable, gentlemen. This whole thing with Saka was preventable. If you'd have went out there and bought players that are on par, better than, or world class, and you wouldn't have these kind of problems because then you could rotate the team just like what Slot is doing over there with Liverpool. I was in a group yesterday. We got to a big wham bam about it yesterday. People saying, well, is it the manager? Is it the players? Or is it Slot? I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Slot came in, assessed the situation, said, you know what? I've got experienced players. I'll get 1 or 2 players just to get over the line. And then he said, I'm going to change the play style because they play car crash football. I'm going to slow it down just a tad, preserve everybody. And this is why you got Salah running around tearing the league up right now because he's conserved all the energy that he would have wasted in the first half of the season. He slowed all that down. So you know what that means, right? That means that you might as well get ready for Liverpool to coast all the way through to the end of the season.
Absolutely spot on. Standing ovation. That was class. Yeah, spot on, man. Spot on. Yeah, cheers, Kenny. Like, I don't even know what to say. Matt, it's literally mic dropped.
Somebody up, might as well end the show now. You know what I mean? He's right though. He's right, Matty. You know, we've seen this. Not just this is just the worst of the worst. It's the pinnacle, isn't it, with Saka? Right? We all of us, not just us. Loads of people out there have seen. There's a problem. There's a problem. There's a problem, and eventually that problem is now broken, and he's going to suffer for that. It's going to be I don't think we'll see him again this season, personally. In fact, he's had to have surgery. I don't know exactly. I mean, I'm no medical expert, far from it. But if he's had to have that stitched back onto the bone, that is serious. That is a serious, serious problem. If it's a major tear, big problem. But it's this. I just don't understand why he has to do this to players. And to me, do you know the way I look at it? If I was part of that squad as a player in his team, I'd be thinking, geez, I'm not sure about this manager. You get a problem and he'll still rip you apart. You know, that has got to be a problem to me. Or are these players just so, I don't know, are they just frightened that they've got to do this? They've got to play for the manager, or that's them done? Because I just think, nah. I honestly think he has no skill in managing people at all.
Inexperience. No experience.
No experience. There you go. No experience. He's a complete and utter virgin when it comes to actually how to manage people, how to actually talk to people, how to look after your your players, not just your best players. I'm talking best player, grassroots. That is his fundamental job.
Can I pose a question?
He has to arm round them. Sorry, Matt, you go.
I want to pose this question right quick. How is it that a team that was they've been docked points, fined, fired a manager, brought in a new manager, spent the amount of four baskets of chicken, a fish, and 2 pieces of bread, and they have found themselves in second place? It's because they've got a manager that has experience. And he went into the situation. He's assessed the situation. He surveyed the field and said, you know what? We just need to tighten up in a few areas, and we're going to play to our strengths, and we're going to play within ourselves. He's not. When have you seen Nuno moving players around all over the pitch, trying to play all these radical positions? You hadn't. Not one time has I seen Forrest play with all players. Hey, we're talking about playing our star defensive midfielder, right wing, and all this stupid stuff. I mean, it's a sickness. This manager is suffering from. It's a sickness. Inexperience. Inexperience. Be damned with this manager. This manager is going to carry this football club down to the 10th level of hell.
100%. But he's not the first manager to do this. You only have to go back to first and foremost. People can say, "Oh, why do you blame the manager?" I can say categorically, if a player has a persistent injury, and the manager says, "Yeah, give me one more game, give me one more game," you don't know what real pain is. You don't know what real pain is. It's down to you. We only have to go back 20 years without Michael Owen. Do you remember when Michael Owen was getting persistent hamstring injuries, and Liverpool, physio at the time, he wanted to take Michael Owen. That he was, fully good. To make sure, could you hear me, guys?
Yeah, your Wi-Fi's buffering, though, mate.
Yeah, to make sure. Anyway, to make sure that we're fully fit. And basically, the long short of it is that Gerard Houllier sacked him because he wouldn't play Michael Owen. So the next physio came in, did what Gerard Houllier says, and look what happened with Michael Owen's career. We're in the same situation with Bukayo Saka. One of the things that I would say about Arsene Wenger, as much as I was his biggest critic, one thing he always got right was player workload. Remember when he used to always say red zones? If a player was in a red zone, he's not playing. Didn't matter who you were. Remember he had an argument with Thierry Henry in the 2006-2007 season before the Tottenham game, where he wouldn't let Thierry Henry play because he was in that red zone, and Thierry Henry went to the newspaper, went to Sky, started moaning about not being able to play. And what did Arsene Wenger said? Me and Thierry, I'm going to have a word with him about what I expect from him. Keep your gosh shut. I'm your manager. I don't think you're fit enough to play. You're not playing. And we don't seem to have this in modern football with Mikel Arteta. I've mentioned on many shows in the last couple of months, we've got to rotate. We've got to rotate. With the amount of games we've got with the extended Champions League, please rotate. Please use Ethan. Don't just use Ethan and Raheem Sterling in the Carling Cup games. Use them in every game, because you've got a situation where every player can't play every game. And you're right. Preston, what was Bukayo Saka doing that? What was he even coming on against Crystal Palace in the Cup? What was going on there? And that's 3 days before, his hamstring snapped. And, I was had a good conversation with a good friend, Albert, from he does a lot of shows with Dan. He does a lot of we WhatsApp every day about everything, and he said, for the good of the Bukayo Saka and for the long-term good of the club, but Bukayo Saka should not play again this season. And I second that, but I want to extend that. I don't want to see Bukayo Saka in an Arsenal shirt until September. At the earliest, because with the injury he's got, we're not just talking about healing, rehab as well, learning how to walk, learning how to run, and then do the football. Mm-hmm. That's not going to be done by April or March. This is a long, long term, because if you want to preserve Bukayo Saka and have at least 50% chance of him being the same player he is before, it's got to be long-term rehab. And if it inconveniences us, so be it. He's that good a player, and more for the manager for building a side, particularly around him. But the problem is with Mikel Arteta, results won't be his friends. The pressure will be enormous. Fans who worshipped him are going to turn against him because they don't like the fact that Liverpool or Chelsea could win the league when they were accepting the Man City. So Mikel Arteta will succumb to temptation, and you won't see, as I said, Bukayo Saka that you were seeing, because at the end of the day, let's get it right. He's not yet world class, but we think he's going to be world class. A lot of fans think he's world class, and they think he's comparable to Mohamed Salah. He isn't yet, because he hasn't got Salah's numbers. He hasn't got Salah's full understanding of the game, because Salah's an older player and a more experienced player. So if we want to see him to get to Saka levels and to the next level, we've got to preserve his career. Got to put him first as a duty of care, because he is the first football club. And if that means, it may affect our league chances, well, let's be honest. A couple of weeks ago, we basically handed the league to Liverpool anyway. We're not going to win the league anyway, because we're just not good enough. We only got one game changer, and our best game changer is out. And our captain, before he was out, was hit and miss. Since he's been out, he's hit and miss. You only have to look at the Everton game. How many people on Friday thought Odegaard had a good game? Can't think of one.
He was shit. And let's be real, he has been pretty much since he's been back. Yeah, let's be honest with it. He got an assist against Chelsea, and that overrode the fact that he was shit in that game.
I just sent you the link for the stats, Lee, right there. That tells you all you need to know. The one that's the most concerning is in the assist column.
All right, let's go. Let me share this. Big ups to everyone. In fact, before I share that, let me grab these super chats real quick, so stacking up. But yeah, bless up to everyone locked in, man. Get these likes up, guys, and the links for the lads are pinned in the live chat. Big up to Nadir, Leo, you went off. Hope the guys do the same and buy some players at City. I don't care about the rest. You guys have deserve some taken care of. I don't get what you mean, bruv. Standards. Also, leave it to Memo. Aki and Stones haven't been the same since after hamstring injuries. Still good, but now injury prone. Also, KDB after surgery. That's a great comment, by the way. Yeah, KDB is finished after his surgery. Let's be real with it. Yeah, bless up Nadir, bro. Bless up, brother. Big up the panel, always preaching facts with Saka well. Bless up to you, Josh. Big up, buddy. But yeah, we've seen instances only last season, like Kevin De Bruyne. Perfect example. Right, let's go with these stats. These stats. So our top goal scorer is 29. Second is Bukayo Saka with 5. This is mad, by the way. 7 is our top, and 5 is wow. Okay. And our top assists. Second is Declan with 3. Where's the goals coming? Where's Odegaard's down there? 1 goal. 1 goal. And 2 assists. What a player, mate.
Class.
What a player. This is embarrassing. Look at this. This is actually a madness. Where were our goals coming from? No. Literally. Where are the goals coming from?
Most of our goals come from defensive players, and we know where that comes from.
Not exactly threes, is it?
Gabriel is on 3 league goals. William Saliba's on 2. Gabriel Magalhaes has more goals than Jesus. Oh my God.
Gee.
That's embarrassing. We're fucked. Like, literally, we're dusted. Declan Rice is second on assists on 3. 3. Yeah, we're finished. We're done, mate. We're totally finished. Totally done out here.
I mean, just quickly talking about this hamstring issue. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a medical man, but to me, right? If you've done such a bad injury to your hamstring, right, it surely can never be quite as flexible as it was once before. If you've got scar tissue, yeah, I mean, we all remember when, when players do a bad ACL. I mean, we've had injured players on our team that have done it in Timber, etc. But one of the greatest players, Gascoigne, when he did his ACL, that leg was never the same again. It was never as fluid. I mean, I popped my knee refereeing, so I never had the medical top level treatment these guys get, but it's never been the same since. I can tell you, it's never been the same. It's not, my left knee is not personally, I can feel it. It's not as flexible, right? And it's prone to pain in the cold weather. But I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Surely, Matty, you're more knowledgeable about this than I am. But surely, if you do a massive tear in a muscle or pull it off the bone, and you've got to have it stitched back on, or whatever it is they do, surely it's never going to be as flexible.
That's the injury. That's one of the main injuries that did Thomas Rosicky in. I remember that like it was yesterday. I took Thomas Rosicky was one of my favorite players. So when that happened, it was like that. I remember reading the article. And I was trying to find it. But I remember reading the article and they said it came off the bone. I said, "Damn, off the bone, off the bone." Just think about that. And that's what with Saka, the tear off the bone. Kenny just stated, you've got to come back. You've got to go through surgery, rehab. Then you got to get back. You remember that big ordeal they made about Odegaard? He's back on grass. They're going to be on that with Saka. He's back on. He's put on the shoe. He's out the bed. He's walking. They're going to have pictures of him on the gurney with the walkers. I'm telling you, they're going to play this up too, by the way. They're going to play this up, by the way. Get ready. But these injuries like this, you don't want the grade 3 tear because it's the serious of the lot. You don't want ACL, Achilles tendon, and you damn sure don't want to rotate a cuff. By the way, we got somebody that's supposedly a hurt shoulder. The rotator cuff. Those are the ones you don't want. Or broke leg, but of course the most obvious.
With bless him, he was at the game at the week at Santi Cazorla when he did that injury on his Achilles. He never came back.
No, not at
injury all. After injury, surgery, injury. Never came back. Career done. Finished.
You know the thing that we're talking about. You talk about injuries, and I saw yesterday on your show with with Dan and Brandon and V Gal, and the gal was saying you're comparing a 23-year-old to a 32-year-old in terms of like injuries, like Kevin De Bruyne and all that. The fact is, all right. If you're not going to count Kevin De Bruyne, what about Reece James? Look what's happened with him. Now, I don't know. I'm not a Chelsea fan. Any Chelsea fans in the chat, if you can help me out in terms of give me a full breakdown of his injuries. But what I am seeing is since 2022, he comes back for a few games, then he's injured again. Now, I don't want that from Bukayo Saka. Now, I'm not saying for 1 minute that Reece James, situation is similar to Saka, but if the rehabilitation management isn't done properly, we are going to see Reece James. Reece James, there's a vacancy, with Walker, probably at his last legs, where Reece James should be getting that England number 2 shirt, but he's not going to get it because he's not playing enough for Chelsea. I mean, when he played a couple of games, then he got suspended, and then since then, something's not right there. He just keeps on breaking down. I don't want that for Bukayo. And how old is Reece James? Reece James must be in about 25 tops. So, and he hasn't played as much football as Bukayo Saka. He hasn't been. He was going to be a main fixture for Chelsea, but he hasn't been paid repetitively like Bukayo Saka has under this management. So again, you've got to think about it. But it happens all the time with young players. The minute a young player comes on the scene, Rooney, Owen, Fowler, all those, George Best as well, Because remember, George Best was overplayed, and the reason why he went on the source, God bless his soul, is because of injuries, persistent injuries. You know what I mean? That's why he had to retire at about 25, 26, and Man United got rid of him. The drink came because of injuries. Remember when he was 20, he had a cartilage injury when he was 20, 1966. He still came back, but he was all.
Sorry, mate. Before my time.
Yeah, Norm Whiteside. Remember Norm Whiteside as well.
Yeah, I do remember. Norm
started off really as the best thing. He was 17.
Yeah, but sorry to cut in, Kenny. This is the thing, though. When I was having that conversation with a girl, it's like you're going back to dinosaur ages and blah blah blah. Okay, cool. Well, let's have a look at some of the recent ones then. Yeah,
it's James's one.
This guy right here, Aaron Hickey at Brentford's been out for a year with the exact same problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exact same problem. Yeah, the thing is, everyone's recovery time is different. Yeah, obviously, some people's bodies heal quicker than others. Yeah, but let's be honest here. Yeah, that player is never going to be the same player ever again. Yeah, and not only that, somebody put it in the chat earlier. It's mental now as well, because when he gets back on the pitch, is he going to run as fast as he could? Yeah, is he going to think, oh, I better not go too hard on this one, or I better pull out of that? Yeah, and not only that,
that's why he needs a lot. That's why he needs a long rehab, Lee. He has to have the long rehab.
Then do other injuries because now you're putting more stress on other muscles in your body, in your legs, to overcompensate for that. How many times do you see someone do a hamstring and then the next week when they're back, or 2 weeks when they're back, they then do a groin or a calf?
If he was never the same player after he did his ankle, he would pull out of a tackle, you could see it going through his eyes. As soon as he saw that player, defender, coming at him.
Who are you talking about, Jess? Which player did you mention?
Eduardo.
Yeah. That was sad.
He was never the same player again after that.
No, I mean you had 1 or 2 goals there, but he was never, like you said, he was never the same player we saw before he went down.
I actually met Eduardo.
When he had that terrible injury, right? He would go in, bang, crash, wallop. After that, when he eventually came back, and it took a long time, you could see he was never going to go into that same sort of situation. Because I don't care who you are, right? You're going to look at that. Oh, I'm not sure now. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah, and this all comes back to what you three were saying at the beginning. This is on the manager. Yeah, when me and the gal were arguing over this last night, right? Bro, if it was just one instance, and it was just because Saka, we could go cool. Yeah, fair enough. But this guy played Ben White this season when he knew he needed knee surgery. Yeah, he played him. And then we're all sitting there going, why has Ben White been so crap this season? Well, because he needs knee surgery, mate. Yeah. Then he's done it with, what's his name? Calafiori. Rushed him back. Yeah, and now he's out again. Yeah, obviously he was on the bench the other night. Yeah, but he's rushed him out. So he's going to be in and out all season. He's done it with Thomas Partey. He's done it with Gabriel Jesus. Rushed him back from a knee surgery. And since then, he's had 2 more knee surgeries. That player's finished. Jesus is finished. Yeah, that guy will never be the player we see at sea.
It is all on Arteta. This is all on him, right? I mean, there's debates going on about Edu's jumped ship because he got fed up with what was happening on transfers. I don't know how true that is, but there's debates. We all know about it, right? But at the end of the day, the reason this has happened is because we're short in the bloody squad.
Yeah.
And the reason we're short in the squad, we sold players maybe we shouldn't have done, in the summer because they were possible cover, maybe, okay? But at the end of the day, Arteta, mate, you've got to take this fully on the sodding nose. Because you've put us in this position, you've put your players under threat because you didn't invest as you should have done to strengthen that right bloody wing.
Yeah.
It's fact.
Well, he didn't strengthen anywhere. Let's be real. We went backwards. 22-man squad.
True.
And the quality is not better than what we had, Lee. That's what I keep trying to bang into people's head. The quality that he's brought in is not better than what we had. Fabio Vieira coming back. That's what they talking about. Fabio Vieira. What does he offer? He ain't offer nothing way yet.
Exactly.
They want to get rid of him. He told y'all these players are not good enough for this football club. They may excel somewhere, dagging on red, Wrexham. So they're not going to excel here at Arsenal. They don't offer anything to get to the next level. People, I keep trying to bang this into people's head. We are in year 5. At year 5, you're not buying project players. You're buying world-class players. World-class. Stop trying to go cut corners. This morning, they got Kingsley Coleman cutting corners again. Stop cutting corners.
Kingsley Coleman's an injury. He's had injuries.
He's another one.
Another one. Him and Alphonso Davies. All injuries.
And the thing is as well, yeah, right? Pretty much every single player we're linked to, we ain't getting anyway. So ignore all of these stories. Yeah, I've seen people in the chat saying, "Oh, is this Alex Baena any good league? Because Premier League clubs linked to him." They're not buying him. They're not buying him. Why would he come to the Premier League when he's balling out in Spain? Yeah, when he could go Barcelona in the summer.
See, that's the thing. The players. I think the problem we've got in terms of our recruitment anyway is that whether our fans like it or not, the players you want us to always get, from other leagues, whether it's Gyökeres, whether it's Sesko, whether it's Osherman, the common denominator, all these players that we're linked with, they're all playing in slower leagues. Where in a slower league, if you lose possession, 9 out of 10 times, it won't affect you too much because simple reason is that the transitions, the movement, and the pressing isn't as intense in this country. In England, it's different kettle of fish. You use the ball here, or you take too long on the ball, you get hit, and that's the situation. We need to be getting, dare I say it, more players like Declan Rice. We need to be looking at English market because City do. Liverpool do. They get players who are Premiership ready. And I think at this level, surely if Arsenal are a club that are going for the Championship and have finished second twice, I don't understand why the top players, English players, internationals, are not being linked with this football club. Why are we still looking for abroad when players have to sort of acclimatise to the way we play? And, you know what I mean, where they have to accept they're not going to get that much time on the ball. Marino is learning quickly.
The hard way.
Hard way. All that time he had the ball when he was at Sociedad isn't happening here. He's learning the hard way that if he loses the ball, he's got to get that back. He's learning the hard way that his physical attributes, which are an advantage in Spain, are nothing here because there's so many people of his size here. And that's the situation. We need to be looking more in the English market because the problem we have, we see a foreign name, see that he's cooking in getting the numbers, but we never take into account the pace of the league he's playing at. We just see the numbers and think it's going to be the same here. It's not. You know what I mean? It's very rare, like foreign players who come over and do well. Players like Drogba, Costa, Havertz. No, sorry, not Havertz, Hazard.
Please not Havertz.
No, not Havertz. Hazard. They're very rare when they come over here. They're the ones that they are an exception. They are exceptional footballers who quickly learn what they come into, and they made it better. Obviously, Rodri, injured player, he's another one who's coming to us. Yaya Toure, perfect for this league, big, physical, skillful, and technical. But the players we've been linked to aren't those sort of players.
They're finesse players.
Yeah, that's it.
True.
Yeah, I just, for me, they just completely mismanaged this transfer window this summer. And we're going to pay for it, and we're going to pay for it twofold. And if you think Saka going to be the only injury this year, wait, y'all just keep, as my grandma used to say, keep living. Just keep living. I guarantee you're going to see another one this year too. Do you realize we play on the 1st, we play on the 4th, we play on the 7th, and
12th, 15th, 18th, 22nd, 25th, 29th, 2nd. Then we've got a game. We've got a game on the 5th, second leg, and then we have a break to the 5th to the 15th. And if we don't get to the how do I say it? if we don't get to the top 8, we'll have a playoff game in between, which puts the Leicester game from being a 12:30 game to an 8 o'clock game on a Saturday. So it's imperative that we do well when we play.
Yeah, I think somebody in the chat was saying that they said they disagree that the Lowe's partners are in the league and they're doing okay. Well, you know what? For the makeup of this team, this team, we don't have we have a major problem, especially on the attacking side with players who can do exactly what they need to do. Because this manager has turned it into a situation where everybody has to play all over the place. All over the place. How is it that after all these years, a right-footed player is playing right-footed now? Yes, think about that. Martin has been on this team since he been here. He just let's put him on the right-hand side because he's right-footed now. I mean, that's basic understanding. But like I said, this comes down to inexperience. This is what I was telling somebody in the chat in the chat yesterday. I was saying this is why Slot is succeeding at Liverpool. He has experience. Now, could you imagine if they brought somebody, a novice like Arteta, and gave him the job at Liverpool? The team would be upside down. It'd be chaos. He doesn't understand man management. He doesn't understand. They've also had it. Kenny, let's not forget, wasn't Jota out for what 4 or 5 games there? He was out for a while, right? He had to navigate that. He's back. And they're sort of, I think somebody got injured yesterday, but they made it through. If you look at Liverpool, if they have a major injury compared to us, which team do you think is going to do better?
Them all the time. They've always, one thing they've had since they got to the Champions League final in 2018, they've always seemed to have 2 players for every position, especially in the midfield. And even defence, it's the same sort of thing. Look at Konate. Before he got injured, he was probably the best centre-back in the country. Not Van Dijk, not Saliba, him. Look at the Liverpool. Has it affected them? Yeah, they let in a few goals. But when they needed to, they went back to Klopp style of play and went, right, we're going to hit the ball early. We're going to bomb forward. And we know that we'll wear teams down and score. So this team of Slot, he hasn't abandoned, like the rock and roll Foo Fighters football. He uses it when it's when to get him out of trouble. But what he has is he's given them some sort of like a European edge where they're not going to succumb to injury. They're not going to burn out. Which last year, no disrespect, Klopp's football was the cause of them probably not winning the league and not winning the Europa League because of the fact that so many players went down with injury. They did drop the ball, they did bottle it, but that was alongside the injuries. You think Salah was injured quite a bit, wasn't he? So was Jota. So I think they had injuries as well.
Yeah.
And goalkeeping injuries. So they're forced to play a lot of kids.
Yes, that's true.
And they still walked off with a League Cup.
Yeah, that's why we had to play them in the cup, because they had all those injuries at the time.
Yeah.
And we got turned over. We got turned over by Kwanzaa, Clark, Bradley, and everybody else. Saved by the bell. I call them Saved by the Bell. That's what we got turned over by.
Let me grab these super chats real quick. Nice. Anyway, bless up to everyone locked in. Lima Club brought Conceição, Forza Milan. Say that again. Conceição's gone to Milan.
No, they couldn't. No, I don't believe that. No way. that. I'm like, man.
Yeah, they've signed. Oh, the coach. Oh, it's not the player, it's the manager.
Okay.
Fucking hell. You duped me. It's his old man. His old man's the coach. I thought he meant the player. Yeah, he's bought they got the Fonseca got sacked. What phase was he in? Why didn't they trust the process?
Yeah.
Why don't they trust the process in Italy? Oh, because you'll get weighed in by the ultras real quick. Big up to you, bro. Big up to Adam as well. Odegaard has no open play goals. We're finished. That's very true. His goal was a penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He's only had 13 assists in 2 years.
Yeah. Gibbs White's had more. Yeah, and I guarantee if you ask any Arsenal fan, say, who would you rather, Odegaard or Gibbs White from Forest? They'd all say Odegaard. Yeah, but I thought it was about GA. Well, if it's about GA, then this guy's better then, isn't he? Yeah, they're idiots, these people, man. Big up Matty as well. Hamstring is worse than an ACL, in my opinion, because it's mentally more draining, missing 6 games than 2 games, playing rinse, repeat, while Pulis plays him. And this is the thing, yeah, our style of play don't help either.
Nope.
Our style of play does not help at all. Big up Nadir, bro. Big up to Alan as well. Bless up, brother. Reece James is broken, has been for 3 years now. Most Chelsea fans are in denial about it. Seeing it with Fofana and Lavia too. Yep, Reece James is done. I can't lie, his career's finished, mate.
Sad.
It is, because he is the best right back in the league when he's fit. Mad. Big up, bro. Saka injury is on PGMOL for not protecting him. Since sarcasm there, mate. Why didn't Arteta buy someone on the right as cover? Mohammed, this is the answer that you get when you post this out, yeah? But who's going to come in and play second fiddle to Bukayo Saka? Seems to be working down Chelsea, mate. How many wingers they got?
The one before that used to be, well, your stunnest growth. You remember that one? Y'all remember that? That was a classic one.
And now the funny thing is, yeah, they're all crying up in arms about this Saka injury. But now they're all making out that Lewis Skelly should be playing every game, every minute. So we're going to do it all over again.
We got back sitting over there already that could play.
Don't you think it's crazy that our 2 best left backs were here before Arteta got here? Kieran Tierney and Lewis Skelly.
Strange that.
Yeah, and he's done 160 million on players to play there.
You know what's even crazy is that to sit there this weekend, well, sit there this past weekend and watch the game, and Ethan Nawari, no time.
Nope.
Against Ipswich.
Matty, I'm so, you know what? I'm surprised you. You know what? I think it's the football coach in you that made you go and watch that again. You know, just to sort of, you know, maybe so you can, you know, find out what we've done wrong or give you your play ratings, because I wouldn't have wished that game, you know, like in real time on anyone, let alone watching that again. But, you know, good luck with that one. But you're right. In terms of like Ethan Nwaneri, again, I think what's happened with Nwaneri, I think he's, because they felt he dropped the ball against Crystal Palace, and then they felt that he dropped the ball previous to that against Everton, where he got no help and no support from a midfielder to actually be there on hand to either get him into those number 10 positions or be on hand to receive the ball. It seems like his stock's gone down, that the manager doesn't trust him. You know, no one wants to talk about that, but that's exactly how it comes across to me, because let's be honest, if you look at his performance against Everton, he dropped the ball. But we know why he dropped the ball, because our best midfielder was playing at right back. He wasn't there to give him the service. But that's just fact. I mean, Crystal Palace, you know, it's like I hate to say it, but it's like you're saying, well, that's what happens when you rush players. You guys want me to play this guy. He's not ready. So I'm going to show you, well, now you know he's not ready. But that's wrong. That's a wrong attitude to have. The fact is, when you have young players in the team, an experienced player needs to be around them, help them. I don't mean talking through the game. Be in a position so they can give them the ball, give them an option. By giving the guy an option, it's you're helping him through the game. So that way he gets the ball, and then that young player knows when to make a run, when to get it back, not being talked to position. And I think those 2 games screamed about, you know, the guy not getting the senior player alongside him, the manager in the field. But then again, we shouldn't be surprised. We're in an age where every manager, top manager, is a micromanager. Arteta, micromanager. Pep, the biggest micromanager of all. And now you're seeing it with Amorim. I mean, whatever you think about Marcus Rashford, it's without a shadow of doubt Amorim's told him he's no longer required. I don't want you in the team. Despite the fact that, you know, Andy Mitten said that Marcus Rashford had a lot of problems with a lot of players, with a lot of previous managers. The fact is, without Marcus Rashford can actually own that team, attacking-wise, there's nothing there. Nothing. But that's another micromanager. And I think that's why you don't see players being that vocal on the pitch. You don't see players changing things that are not working. They just look over and say, what do I do now? You know, a bit like Vincent in the Twins. You know, the the big geezer who lost his virginity for the first time when Kelly Preston's character said, "Beautiful woman. Oh, what do I do now?" You know what I mean? That's what our players look like with his manager.
Yeah, facts. That's true. We've seen this too many times, mate. Yeah, we've got too many receipts on this manager. Yeah, over the last 5 years. Yeah, and none of our squad's complete. We still need another goalkeeper. Yeah, we still need another left back because he's going to get rid of Tierney, and he don't trust any of these others to play there consistently because they number one can't stay fit down to his mismanagement again, or they ain't good enough. We still need midfielders. We still need a striker, and we're 800 million deep. Yeah, this team needs about another 200 million quid on players. Yeah, and I don't want him to have it. I don't want him to have no more money, mate. Sorry.
Yeah. Danny almost not coming to this football club. I just want everybody. I want everybody to know that he's not coming. He's not going. And in a perfect world, let's say he did. The manager's not going to have to. He's not going to want to have to go against his boy Odegaard. Anybody that is better than his boy Odegaard, because he's the captain of the team, he don't want those problems because it's going to create chaos, and he don't want those problems. We all know that Danny Olmo. Everybody in this chat don't know that Danny Olmo is better than Odegaard. We all know that, but this manager's not going to do it. He's not going to do it.
Danny Olmo's staying at Barca. I don't care how they get around it; they'll find a way. Sorry, Joseph, go on.
No, I'm just sitting here thinking with what's happened with injuries of late. Going back last season and through this season, I can't see any top class player wanting to come for Arteta, looking at his narcissistic approach to players. Unless you're going to offer them absolutely stupid wages, which Arsenal like to do, when a player actually isn't worth that money, right? Why would you want to? Why would you want to come and threaten your career? And say, the manager says, "Oh, you'll be all right. You can go and play anyway." Or I'll put, you've got an ankle problem. You're limping a little bit, which we had with Saka. Yeah. And then, get on with the game. Get on with the game. Players talk. Players talk to each other. It's an elite level of football. They've got teammates in international. They may not be international footballers yet, right? But they know people. They talk. They know people in those teams. They know people at different clubs. And they're going to say, "No, don't come here, mate. Don't come here. I'll come and join you." Saliba, the likes of Saliba, Gabriel, probably lose them in the summer, right? Because the likes of Barca and Real Madrid are sniffing, and they're not. You can get a man. We know it's worked in the past with Arteta. He used to ask players like Omri, Vieira to recommend players, and then Arsenal would go and tap them up. David Dean, Sir Peter Hill would go and tap the players up, and they come to Arsenal. Maybe sometimes, right? It's the other way now. We don't do that. We don't work like that anymore. Right? We don't do it like that anymore, right?
We did tap up. Do you think we tapped up Declan Rice, though, Jez?
One player, Kenny.
Yeah, one player. That's right. Yeah.
One player.
Yeah.
Right? And we paid over the odds, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
The same.
Yeah.
Sesko said, "I stay put." He said, "I just stay and learn." What manager? What top of the line player? Because I saw somebody take a shot at me in the chat earlier about world class. Where these world class players at? I tell you what. How about this? What top class player has his manager went out and bought? Just a step below world class. Just a step below world class. What top class player has he went out and bought?
None.
Zero.
That's an indictment on him as a coach, because it shows that he's not willing to delegate responsibility on the football field, and he's not willing to work with experienced players. And two, it's a damning indictment on his football club, because once again, it's a case of Arsenal don't sign stars, we make stars. Yeah, but over the years, you've made stars, and what's happened? They've excelled elsewhere. Let's not, you know what I mean? Like, for instance, let's not forget, there was a period even under Arsene Wenger we were a selling club, and that was when we were successful. You think about after you won the double in '98, a lot of our best players would go to Barcelona. We became a selling club. And then after the Emirates, 100%, you had players like, obviously you had Francesco, Fabregas, you had Magdi Boyle, you had Nasri, you had Kleb. To name but a few, even Song, players like that, Sagna, all players we turned into gems, all went off and did well, in other clubs. It's just facts. Man City raided our clubs, because our players weren't yet ready to win big things. But when they were ready to win things, that's when they offered them more money. And that's the situation now. We're in a situation now that we just have to win something big. We have to win the league. We have to win the Champions League. We have to go into the same market that Man City go into. And obviously Chelsea were doing before. We don't want to be like Man United and get, players that passed it and start paying over the odds because these players don't want to come, but we bribe them into coming. We want them to come because, this is a club that can go somewhere. But again, I always say to Gal, when in conversations I have in private and on podcasts, I've seen no evidence of Arsenal Football Club being linked to any top class players. I've seen no evidence of Arsenal Football Club actively chasing the Holy Grail, which is a big striker. I haven't seen evidence of it. Hence and the reason why I can say that with strength and my chest out is because if Arsenal were in for a player, we'll know about it. The club never shut up about Declan Rice, Calafiori, never shut up about Sesko, and they never shut up about Vajovic, Mudryk, and Caicedo. So when Arsenal are in for a player.
Yeah, true. Very true. Let me grab these 2 super chats real quick. Smash these likes up as well, and the lads' links are pinned in the comments. So make sure you sub to Jez's channel, Arsenal History and More. Matt's Southern Gooner, and Kenny's Instagram, KennyKen1972. Big up to Luke for the super chat. If anything sums up how Arteta mismanaged Arsenal, the bench against Ipswich contained 4 left backs, 3 central mids, and 1 academy player. No academy players, no attacking players 5 years deep, by the way.
Fact.
Yeah, the only attacking player we had on the bench was Ethan. Mad. That is actually crazy. Yeah, embarrassing as well.
Well, we're going to need to use Ethan quite a bit. Whether the manager likes it or not, we're going to have to use him, and we've got to use Raheem Sterling as well because you've said
we can't, Kenny. We can't. He's injured.
Arteta, gave us a bit of a Christmas present where his version of Christmas present that it's not too bad. Raheem be all right soon. So maybe that was his version of Christmas. But look, does anyone think we're going to sign the players even though the urgency is great? I always said that Arsenal only sign a player if it's very urgent. Well, losing your best player is urgent, isn't it?
Yeah.
He said we have internal solutions. His words. That's what he said. He said we have internal solutions. He named all these positions where people can go play on that side.
Yeah, and he included 29 in that list.
Yes. I told you got the promo video. You got the promo video of your boy party out there talking about he can play right wing if needed. It was serious heart attack.
We're done, mate. We're actually done. Big up to Gun Down UK as well. Saka hamstring injury will be Arteta's get out of jail. You couldn't make this crap up if you tried.
Right. Hey, he's doing. Something that we haven't really mentioned. I know it's going to be facetious, and the chat are probably going to give me 6 of the best from the headmaster. But do you find are you in the same line of thinking as I am that Jesus' apparent return of form has become a bit of a headache for Arteta because him playing up top means, oh my God, I've got to find a place for Kai Havertz and Declan English in this midfield, and he'll struggle to fit in Partey and Marino because have you noticed it that in the last couple of games Partey's been on the bench and Havertz been played in the Marino position. He's on the bench and Declan English is now number 6.
And it's funny because our manager said the other day, Declan Rice isn't an 8. So why the fuck do you play him at number 8 then?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Like, why are you playing him in number 8 when Marino's supposed to be playing there?
He knew that when he bought him. He knew it
Yeah.
when he bought him. Flee, the whole world saw it. We saw it on display when he was in the final there. Everybody know where he plays at. This manager, I told y'all, Jess, what did I tell y'all last season? I said this Kai Havertz will be the heel this manager down. That's what said. You know, I made this analogy on Saturday with the guys. I said if you ever watch a good crime movie, when the crime boss finally gets took down, it's not for something that happened recent. It's something that led up to the downfall. It's like with Scarface, where he started getting big, started buying lavish, all this stuff, and then he ended up getting took out at the end there. This manager went and bought Kai Havertz. That was the beginning of the end right there. That one transfer was the beginning of the end because he's caused so much confusion. Not Kai Havertz as a person, but I'm just saying the purchase itself has caused so much confusion in this team that you can't buy players, and then you can't even put players that you need to put in their regular position where they need to be at because you got to find. He's trying to shoehorn them in there just to make it happen.
Let me just grab this comment as well. Saka will be fine. These guys are overdoing it to build their case. It's sad. His name's Declan Rice, Kenny. The guy you said ain't good enough. Well, so far he hasn't been, has he? Yeah, and not only that, unless you know Bukayo Saka's body better than anybody else, yeah, then he's pretty fucked, mate. Yeah, and we've got multiple players over the years that have had this injury and never returned to greatness or back to their form. Yeah, we've got a whole rap sheet of it. Yeah, so I don't know what you're talking about, bro. What do you mean to build our case? Yeah, the guy's laying in a hospital bed, mate.
What case is there to build? Neil
is one of those people who thinks that we shouldn't be having a go because we like I say we're on apparently 11 match unbeaten run. We're still second at the table. If we win on Wednesday, we're going to be 6 points behind Brentford. This is Neil's energy. But Neil, I've got something to say to you. I can say what I please because I'm not saying I'm right because I've been watching football for 45 years. But I know enough to know that a number 6, this is no longer a Makelele type. It's a CDM who runs the whole midfield. Now, if you can give me Neil, a breakdown or evidence of Declan Rice running the Arsenal midfield. And what I mean by running Arsenal midfield, passing through the lines, taking the ball in half turn, as well as, like doing recoveries and making long runs. You can show me evidence of Declan Rice having bossing the midfield since he comes to a football club. I like to see it because I haven't seen it. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe you need to educate me, Neil. But from what I've seen, Declan Rice is not a top-class number 6. He's not the level of Thomas Partey. He's not on the level of Casado, and he's certainly not on the level of Rodri. And the Euros showed me that Declan Rice struggles against top-class midfielders. But if you've got evidence, Neil, to show me any difference, I'm all ears. You know where show me where it is, Neil.
He also got dog walked by Goretzka in the worst Bayern Munich side for 12 years. Yeah, let's be real with it. He also got dog walked by Morgan Rogers when we played Aston Villa.
You know what, Lee? A person like Declan Rice, and this is going to sting to Neil. This is going to hurt him. This is going to hurt his feelings. He's probably going to go cry in the car. A player like Declan Rice should be getting tutored by the best available manager right now at this point of his career. He should be getting molded at this stage to where he's going next level. See, this is the problem with a lot of our players. We get these players, and then they don't. This is where they plateau at. They plateau right up on right here at this where this manager is, and then they just stop. Other players go to good. Look at the players over there with Nuno. I'm gonna go back to Forest. Look at these players that go to Forest, and then look and watch what happens when they leave there. They'll move on somewhere better. They'll take it up a gear. They'll go somewhere. Look at the players when we get them. Where's Fabio Vieira? Fabio Vieira was up under the tutelage of this manager for 2-3 years. How good is he doing right now? I mean,
he's back at the club that we brought him from because he weren't good enough, and now we're looking at bringing him back.
I mean, look at that. I mean, me and you, Lee. We sat there. We watched Noon Tavares. Look at you watched Lazio the other day. Look at the difference in Noon Tavares now compared to when he was up on Arteta. Different player. Don't even look like the same player. This manager ruins careers because he doesn't understand it, because he does not have the experience. People can say what they want to say about me, you, Kenny, and Jez. They can say what they want to say, but the manager ain't got the experience.
True.
Yeah, mate. Look at Kolasinac as well. By the way, yeah, he's got away from this manager. Yeah, and he's won a Europa League since he's left, and he's balling out as well at Atlanta.
Guendouzi.
Guendouzi was fucking balling against that Atlanta the other night. I think he got man of the match. Yeah, smacking the ball from 28, 30 yards out off the bar, running the midfield. Yeah, like, what are we doing here? Yeah, but anyone who has a little bit of character, yeah, I'm not saying that Kolasinac was any good. Yeah, but anyone that's got a bit of a personality like a Aubameyang, yeah, like a Guendouzi, this manager ain't signing you, mate.
Nope.
Yeah, and he'll get you out the club real quick. He wants nice yes men, nice boys. Yeah, quiet boys.
Of course he's going to want with the pressure on, because the pressure is on Mikel Arteta. And I say it factually. I'm not saying this is not an opinion, it's a fact. A lot of his fans or people admiring are not going to accept anyone other than Man City winning this league. If Liverpool win this league, they're going to turn on a sixpence, and as they will with Chelsea, because the simple reason is that one of their champion points was we were Man City's biggest rivals. We are the only team that's to stop Man City from winning this league. In fact, they're even saying Man City haven't been good for the last 3 years, but the reason why they've won the league is through corruption, through spending over their means, for favourable decisions from referees. And had that happened, Arsenal win the league. Well, they can't say that now if Liverpool win the league, because I think it ain't got here. We're the next capital rank. What's happened? Well, look at this manager. So anyone who rocks the boat, any journalist rock the boat, yeah, he will get his gnash his teeth, get his sharpen his nails and scratch people's eyes out, because I say it all the time. When you're a club like Arsenal, there's only going to be so much, phases fans are going to accept. There's going to be so much progress fans are going to accept. They're always going to say, you know what, now it's time for success, because they've put their, their colours on the mast of Mikel Arteta. They said that this guy is the right man. He's going to win us big trophies. So he has to deliver, because time's running out. And you know what they do, what I've seen with a lot of fans? Oh, there's one guy who've got a lot of time for, one naming, but we know him really well. He says that, the Arteta outers are out in force. And the guy replies and goes, I'm a big Mikel fan. I'm always behind him, in terms of his team selections and how he's got us to challenge. However, you can still criticise him without wanting him out. That's the narrative you're going to get with these guys. I'm not going to call them names because there are some fans like me and you. They're just annoying. You know what I mean? But it's the goalposts are changing. And, they're waiting for a miracle that so far isn't going to happen. The last miracle Arsenal fans are going to need is Liverpool against Nottingham Forest at City Ground. If Liverpool win that game, because they're going to smash Man United, yeah?
Yep.
Then they've got the next games against... If they beat Nottingham Forest at City Ground, can we now concede that they're not going to drop points? Or should we just...
If you look at their... Sorry, mate, I'll let you jump in a sec, yeah? If you look at Liverpool's fixtures in January, they've got 8, right? They're going to have to go strong against United. They'll probably mix a match against Tottenham. Yeah, Atkinson Stanley, they could put a whole fucking skeleton team out.
Would they?
Yeah. Nottingham Forest, they'll go strong.
Would they?
Brentford away. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, Brentford, they'll go strong. But then the Champions League, well, they've already qualified, so they can put a reserve team out against Lille. Yeah, then against Ipswich at home, they can do the same because they're shit. Then they've got PSV away. Well, they've already qualified. So 3 or 4 of their games 4 of their games, at least out of 8, they can put reserves out.
Yep.
Yeah, we got 9 games and we can't take our foot off the gas.
Let me ask the panelists: can you see Arsenal dropping 9 points this season?
Yeah,
Arsenal
easy.
will drop another 9. Yeah.
This is why I was telling somebody yesterday. I said we're going to drop 69 points. I said that's not me being negative. That's just based off of what I'm looking at, what I've seen just over the last couple of years of this manager. This is why I said this thing with Liverpool is long gone. That's going to be between them and Chelsea. They'll figure it out. Them, Chelsea and Forest and whoever else. We won't be a part of that. We won't be a part of that because this team does not do what's required. I wanted to read something that was in my chat yesterday. Kenny brought up a point. And I said, I want to read this out loud. One of the groups I'm in. This fella said, man, I'm going to be really heartbroken if Liverpool wins this trophy. More so than when City won it. See, these Arsenal fans, and that's not a knock on my boy, because I know that brother, they're good. But Arsenal fans have to come around to the realization of we were so obsessed with City. Everybody was so obsessed with what City was doing. Oh, City this. Oh, City that. Oh, City this. And then you started hearing, Lee, probably back in October. Remember, I called you that day. I said, hey, man, is anybody watching Liverpool? And they're going about their business, just chilling, quiet, just cruising, come up the back end. And then all of a sudden, they're on a roll. And then now you started hearing Arsenal fans, super top gooners, super Reds. They started going, oh, well, if Liverpool finishes above Arsenal, then we need to talk to the manager because that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
We can't have that. There's no way. This is Liverpool we're talking about. That's what people were saying. You talk about the same Liverpool that only a few years removed from a Champions League, challenging City for 5 years, 5 years straight. And now all of a sudden people are like, oh, this is Liverpool, some bastard child or something. All right, who's this Liverpool? And now all of a sudden everybody's going, well, if Liverpool finishes, but we need to fire the manager. You can't make it up. You can't make this stuff up, man.
Bro, and the mad thing is, right, is the amount of copium that this fan base are doing. They've got their get out of jail now. Yeah, Saka's injured. That's the free pass now. Yeah, so it doesn't matter who wins the league. It's
2 passes, Lee. It's 2 of them. It's 2 because I've been hearing this a lot too. It said, "Is that what you just said?" And well, Slot got world-class players. That's the other one.
The thing is, these arsewipe fans that say this, they've still got to come back and see the real facts. The person that's caused this is Arteta.
Yep.
Because he didn't do his job. He didn't get the players in at the players' positions we needed. So they can say, oh, well, Saka's injury, oh, that was our season ruined. Yes, because of the bloody wanker of a manager we got. That's it.
Yeah. Yep. They always move the goalpost.
At the bloody manager, people. Open your eyes and smell the bloody coffee and look at Arteta in the eyes.
Jez, we get accused of moving the goalposts. A good friend of mine, we argue all the time. He always tells me off, sends me little texts, and puts me in the tension all the time. He thinks we're the ones. Because I said, what's that? He goes, he said he spoke to me, and he genuinely believes that we said that we would give Arteta his flowers and back him if he got us challenging. And that's what he says to me. And he's saying that I've moved the goalpost because I now want trophies and that I now want the league.
Oh, how dare you!
And I always say, well, let's get this right. We never want. I always wanted an experienced man, and I've never once criticised Arteta's coaching ability. In fact, I've always given Arteta flowers when we all 4 of us used to do the player ratings. I beseech anyone who watches our shows and watches Lee's shows to look at the player ratings. How many times last season when we were playing beautiful football did Arteta get 10 out of 10? How many times did Odegaard get 10 out of 10? Loads of times, multiple times. But the problem is that with a lot of these fans is that I said to the guy, why is it that when things go wrong, Mick Arteta is never allowed to be questioned, but when things go really well, the players never get the credit. It's always Mick Arteta.
Yeah. Because of the way they've packaged him and marketed him so well, Kenny. This fan base here, most people that roam the planet are thick anyway and can't think for themselves, right? And people would rather just get along, to look like, oh, look at me, I'm just getting along with it. When you get their real feelings, when they're not tweeting, when you're actually speaking to them face to face, when they're not on their YouTube video and they're behind the stage, that's when you get their real feelings.
Or like when we do the games and then we go to halftime and we go cruise to see what people are saying. And they're saying exactly what we just got through saying before halftime. And you see it right there on their tweets. And but when the game ends, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah. Oh, just be happy we won. Oh, all the negative Nellies are out again. Bro, you were tweeting all the way through the first half being negative.
Can I ask a question here, guys? I just want to ask I'm going to throw this one in there. I've been thinking about this for a little while now. Right? The chat, you can say whatever you want to as well, whatever. Let's just say, right, I'm pretty right in saying this, Arsenal end up 4th, 5th, right, come the end of this season. And let's just say Arteta is binned or he walks out the door, right? Do you think, and Kenny, you're there week in, week out, right? Do you think these Arteta sexuals are either going to change their narrative or they'll just disappear?
They won't disappear. Because what's happened is that they didn't disappear when Arsene Wenger left. What they did, which was quite duplicitous, is that all their memes were memes of Unai Emery. They were massively behind him, but deep down they waited for him to, walk in without a belt, with his zip undone, hoping his trousers would fall down his ankles. And then if the trousers fall down his ankles, they're going to pounce. And they did. They waited for Crystal Palace at home 2019 for the zip not to be done up properly and the belt not to be loosened. They went for him. And then we didn't get the top 4, but they said, all right, he always wins in European Cup finals. He lost against Chelsea. That was it. He didn't even get time to pull his trousers up. The same thing's going to happen with the next managers coming. These guys who put down in their memes the difference between a fan and a supporter, and they go in paragraphs and come out with some quotes that I haven't heard of, and I did English at A level. Yeah, I didn't know some of the bollocks quotes they came out with. Well, anyway, but these guys will definitely put their memes around the next manager, hoping, like Unai Emery, and I use that in inverted commas, that he too wears jeans or trousers that don't fit, and hopefully that his trousers will fall down, his pants will fall down, and they'll say, "I told you so," and start accepting Arteta from the blame and put all the blame on the next manager, because that's exactly what did with Unai Emery. Unai Emery was responsible for all the problems that Arteta inherited, and that's another thing. You look at these Arteta fans who happen to be Wenger fans. They say Papa Wenger. They praise Arteta because Arteta found the club in a great state. But your father, your papa, was the one who ruined the club.
Yeah.
Laughable, man. You don't want to hear that, Kenny. You want to tell them they don't want to hear that, bro.
No. Let me grab these super chats quickly, lads. Big up to Violent as well. Edu escaped the sinking ship. Yeah, maybe Edu's not as stupid as we thought he was.
No,
he got out while he could. Big up Violent, bro. Big up to Bashir as well. Saka will be finished by 26. Yep. We have been saying it, bro. We have been saying it. It's what happens when you play someone too much. We even heard Thierry Henry talking about this the other day. Yeah. We've also seen the clip doing the rounds. Thierry Henry was saying these players shouldn't be playing as much as they are. But it is what it is. Big up to Linda. Do you want a new manager? Rooney is nearly ready.
Oh. No.
Hey, talking of Rooney, did you see what happens in his luxury flat when Colleen and the kids are in Liverpool? What goes on there?
No, I didn't see it.
Don't pick up the Daily Mail, mate. Rooney's up to no good again.
No way.
I'm afraid so.
Is it another granny?
No, some bit younger. Some a bit younger.
Go the girls.
Yeah, he loves a granny old Rooney, doesn't he? But there we go. Mad. Big up, Linda.
All 17-year-olds like an older woman.
There you go.
All 17 then.
Well, that's true. That is actually very true. Yeah, bit of experience, you know what I mean? Big up to Fenyo as well. Klopp's favouritism was his downfall. He moved Gakpo into midfield because he had to play Nunes. But the difference is Klopp can read the room and left. Yep. I was having this conversation yesterday. Klopp left after winning the trophy. Fergie left after winning the trophy. Pep's going to go down the route of Wenger if he carries on. Yeah, unless he can turn that around real quick and win something this season. Not looking good for Pep. Big up, bro. Big up, Violent. What's this obsession of Arsenal fans with Arteta? Barca binned their club legend Xavi, who had won them the league and had a manager and had managed a team previously. It's the way it's been marketed, bro, and it's the ambitions of the football club, yeah? Like, Barcelona are doing this whole we're skint crap. They're not skint. Yeah, and I see somebody in the chat saying that they can't register Olmo earlier after this court hearing. Bro, they're about to do £100 million deal for box tickets. They're 100 million quid to sell their executive boxes to Arabs. So an Arab can sort him or something. Yeah. And that 100 million will enable Danny Olmo to be registered. Yeah, and the paperwork's halfway through, apparently. So they always find a way. They always find a way. Big up to Viz as well. But Lee, this was an unexpected injury. Arteta's not to blame. But when you get a hamstring injury that early into a football match, yeah, it's not unexpected, especially when the guy's been limping off nearly every week.
Yeah. Fact.
Yeah, for over a year. Yeah, this injury has been 18 months in the making. Yeah, since the start of last season, since last August, yeah, Bukayo Saka has played 71 times for Arsenal. That's without England. 71 games. And he averages 80 minutes. That is crazy. Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? And then people will go, oh, yeah, but Salah plays all these games. And what? And what? Yeah, just because that player plays all these games, don't mean that one can. Look at Lamine Yamal. How many injuries did he have this season? 3? Yeah, 3 injuries. Why? Yeah. Because when they're 3-0 up against Valladolid at home, yeah, they should have been subbing him off. Instead, he played 90 minutes. Then half time, sub him off. You're 3-0 up against a relegation team, mate. Yeah, who are actually bottom of the table. Instead, he played the whole 90. Yeah, and what happens is when you're 17 years old and your body's still developing, your Saka's age just turned 23, and your body's still developing. You're growing. You're trying to get stronger. You're in the gym every day, and your body's still changing. Yeah, can't be playing that much football, bro.
Isn't it 25 the peak? Isn't that the right thing? 25 is your peak fitness and other stuff, which we won't go into here. But
Jez, one thing I've learned, right? Have you noticed that the normal footballer who's carefully managed reaches his peak years between 27 and 32? But the young player who starts at 16, 17, his peak years are probably at 21, 22, 21, 22.
Yeah. We've been saying, me and Rance have been saying this on shows for about a year or so. Yeah, maybe this is Saka's prime that we're watching.
When did Saka when he started for us? Was he 18?
17, 18.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was playing left wing back, then he was playing right, then he was playing left.
George Best. Let's not forget George Best. George Best made his debut for Man United in 1963. He got a major injury in 1966, just before his 20th birthday. And then he basically started drinking because he was getting persistent injuries on his knees and ankles, and he had to retire early. That's what real reason he started drinking. It had nothing to do with him going around with Miss World and all these other women. I mean, I would love George's leftovers, but it never happened.
This is the thing, though. Look at some of these players. Look at some of these players. Gareth Bale and Eden Hazard were dusted by 28, 29. Yeah, Gareth Bale was sat on the bench at Real Madrid because he was more interested in playing golf. Yeah, Eden Hazard was sat on the bench with a big belly because he was more interested in drinking beer and eating. Yeah, but they were unbelievable footballers. Yeah, and we've seen their peak, and their peak weren't in 28, 29, 30. Yeah, why? Because they started so young. Yeah, Michael Owen, injuries caught up with him. Yeah, finished. Yeah, and you're right. Players like Mohamed Salah.
They never caught up with the two best players in the world, Messi and Ronaldo. So there's got to be something scientific. We need, after I retire, we need to look at the sort of like all the sort of like graphs on their player management, their injuries and everything. Because something unique there. Because Cristiano came to Man United at 18. Messi
broke in at 17.
17. Yet Cristiano's going to be 14 the next year, and he's still going. Well, he's still playing, and Messi is still playing. Now, is it because they played in slower leagues?
I was just sitting here thinking to myself, you know what's not getting addressed? What's the question is not being asked? What are we doing our training with these players too?
We get them to chase the dog.
You know, remember Smith Rowe got injured in the warm down.
Yeah, Tommy Yasu got injured in training by falling over somebody.
Odegaard was a non-contact. Who got a non-contact injury last year?
Yeah.
Who was that? Tommy Yasu and Smith Rowe both got had an injury in training where they fell over each other. Thomas Partey fell over. Why do our players fall over another player?
Moreno broke his shoulder in training.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
So, how many times do we hear this player's got a setback in training? Why is it us?
He felt something. They felt something.
How can Declan Rice have a near immaculate record in 8 years at West Ham, and he's been injured how many times this season and last season?
He's played more games with more intensity at Arsenal. That's not disrespectful West Ham. And that's why, you know, Thomas Partey, you know, he's played in a slower league in in Atletico Madrid, playing for a very demanding manager where they actually train harder than we do in England. But the reason why we can't train as hard as we would like, because the intensity of the game, football takes care of itself. But I do think the manager should know that when players come from a slower league, they have to be managed properly. Obviously, they're your best players, and you want to play your best players in every game. But again, regardless of what I thought of Arsene Wenger, and I know I said it earlier in the show, there's red zones which players can't go beyond. And I still think to this day, every club has got a red zone, but some managers ignore it. Like, for instance, we're all the same. We want someone, if we ask someone for advice, we're only going to listen to the people who tell us what we want to hear. Just like managers have club doctors or physios who tell them what they want to hear about their best player. And unfortunately, Mick Arteta has listened to a club doctor and physio who told them it's all right with Saka. Yeah, play him. No one had the balls to tell Mick Arteta that this guy is in the red zone and that we're going to have a problem here. And now it's happened. That's why, you know, a guy says, oh, why are you blaming the manager? It was a freak injury. No, it wasn't a freak injury. It's something we're worried about because the fact is that he's never had rest. You only get hamstring injuries if you're overplayed. Overexertion leads to injuries. There's two ways to get injuries: impact, accidents, or overexertion. Bukayo Saka's injury is overexertion.
Well, let's not forget, what was it, Lee? What game was that? Was he was injured? He sat out a game. He sat out, and then he got I forgot how it went. He either got injured, and then the next game he just showed up and played after they had said he was injured, and I was like, it might have been one of those Carabao Cup games, whatever. But I remember Lee, I was like, he's playing. He was like, yeah, he's in the lineup. I was like, well, they said he was injured. That's what the manager said on Friday. Yeah. And he turned around and he's playing in the game.
How many times have we seen Saka limping off here? Right, and we're like, well, that's him fucked. Yeah, and then like Matty says, the very next game is starting. We've seen this happen how many times last season? It's mad.
The thing is, it's like anything in any level of sport, right? When you've got something so highly tuned, Grand National winner, pulls a furlong, whatever they bloody call them. Formula One racing car, you push it to the limit, something breaks. Yeah, a greyhound, top racing greyhound. You push it over, something breaks. And that's what we've done with Saka. We've kept pushing pushing him until something eventually breaks. And it's broken right now, and he's going to suffer for it. End of the season, probably see him next year.
That's it.
No, you're right, Jez. Yeah, and we shouldn't be seeing him until next season.
We shouldn't.
I'll be ecstatic if I don't see Bukayo Saka. I said, if I see Bukayo Saka, I'll be really happy. If I see him before then, I'll be gutted because I think, you know what, this is way too early, and I want him to play. We need him. Let's cut the the verbals out. Bukayo Saka is our best player, and in order to maintain a successful championship challenge, we need him. But at the end of the day, we've got to think of the long term and think, you know what, we've got to accept defeat. That it's inhumane to play a player when basically he's on one leg. We can't do that. No matter how much we want him, he's got to have complete rest and complete rehab, or everything you said Lee, yesterday about him being finished is going to come to fruition.
Mate, I've been saying it for 3 years, Kenny. Yeah, I said he'll be done by 25.
Yeah.
He'll be done by 25. No, I don't wish that on him. Of course not. I want him to.
We don't want it to happen.
Of course we don't.
First game Timber played for Arsenal, went off holding his knee, right? Yeah, went off holding his bloody knee. And when we were watching the game, you guys were doing a watch along, and I was watching you, and we see him coming out. I thought, no way.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was against Forest. It was like, what the fuck is he coming out second half for?
And 5 minutes later, he's done.
Yeah, out of the season.
Gone. See you later. Got the rest of the season. Nice one. ACL.
Yeah.
When did we ever learn at this club? And I saw so many bullshit comments. There's one fella. It's on your podcast, right? Or it might have been fan cam. I can't remember. Oh, there's tests you can do in the change room for about an ACL. I thought, what a load of bollocks. A test. You can do a test. I thought you had to have a proper scan. You know what I mean? An ultrasound scan. That's what they do. Ultrasound, isn't it? Right? And then they can see the tear or the damage to the ligament and all that. And this guy was trying to tell me. And I actually said to him, are you a sodding doctor? Are you a surgeon? No, but they can test it. The medical staff can test it. How?
That's what Galv said to Lee yesterday, isn't it? When he asked if Lee was a doctor, if he was a doctor or a physio, isn't it?
Yeah.
He didn't want to hear the fact that
he had to run off in the end. He had to leave. He had to leave in the end. Bless him. But this is spot on. Big up, Lauren. Odegaard came back fit for the Chelsea game, goes to international break with Norway, and they say, yeah, you're not fit, go home. We're not going to risk your health. Yeah. How the fuck nobody's called that out, by the way, apart from us? Yeah. Who's been calling this out? Yeah, that's a massive red flag. Yeah, they go on to international break, and the doctor says, no, you're not fit to play games, mate. You're going home.
Right. Go home, see ya.
Yeah.
What are we doing it?
Yeah, that's the thing. They're covering the noise in their FA are covering their backs because there's no way Arsenal should have allowed Odegaard to go to represent his coach in the first place, because we saw the Brighton game. I was there at the ground. You guys were covering it. Jez, you were watching it as well. He got kicked from pillar to post on the bad ankle. Minter actually took a liking to him and wouldn't leave him alone. He was even going to the referee, telling the referee, look, I'm being kicked for it. And the referee just ignored him, Chris Kavanagh. And then he went to international duty. Surprise, surprise. He gets injured in international duty when he's already injured. And so it says a lot about, football in general. When it comes to injuries, they know when a player's in the red zone. They know. They can't deny it. But what happens is that they wait for someone to tell them what they want to hear. There's no way a manager is going to just have one physio or one doctor. He's going to have a few second and third opinions till he gets to the third opinion tells him, yeah, he can play. He'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
Kenny, I'm going to tell y'all like this. We hadn't talked about this. we got a nightmare fixture coming up in this Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
We've got a nightmare fixture coming up in this Carabao Cup. Newcastle are on a roll. Me and Kenny, we talked about this Saturday. You talked about this Saturday. That they are on a mission. And we're going to go there to St. James's Park. One shot on target in 2 years. And that was with Saka in the team, by the way.
Yeah.
Just let out what y'all think about it. He was in the team, by the way. And we got to go and deal with an informed striker. I think they've scored, and I might be off on here, but they've scored at least 12 goals in the last 3 or 4 games.
Who they got today?
Good question. Who have they got?
Man United at Old Trafford.
Oh yeah, of course they have. I'm doing a watch along for that.
Oh my lord!
Oh my lord! So you already know what's going to happen.
Don't get me wrong, right? I'll just say one thing about Amorim. Self-harm at Amorim, but you know, you guys are right. I've actually bought my ticket for the Carabao Cup. You know, and I'll just. That was when I thought Saka was fit, by the way. Not too injured anyway. And I thought, all right, let's maybe we might take a lead to St James's Park. Jesus Christ, I don't know what we're going to take to St James's Park. Probably all we're going to take there is the minibus.
The varsity jackets.
Yeah.
The varsity jackets. That's going to be, and he's got to win it. Yes, he's got to win the fixture. He's got to get this Carabao Cup.
Facts. Yes. If he don't win this cup, mate, then what? Yeah, because we ain't winning the Champions League. Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people think we can stink our way to winning it. Yeah, good luck with that, mate. But as soon as you come up against a decent team, yeah, you get found out every time. Yeah, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, Atalanta. Yeah, we ain't beating any of them. Yeah,
Jez, I was going to ask Jez a question, right? Because I know Jez is his piss is gonna boil. As crap as Man City have been, how would you take it if Man City shithoused their way to winning the Champions League?
Right.
I knew it.
Hey, I heard LB. I was listening to LB. If you catch this on the replay, you're gonna start laughing. I was listening to LB.
We still again can't win a Champions League. Look, I'm not gassing it up. We're not good enough. We ain't going to beat certain teams. But to answer your question, where we are currently in the Champions League qualifiers and where they are, and if they shithoused it to win it, mate, I think I'd give up watching football then, to be honest.
Yeah, LB said, I was listening to LB the other day, and he said, well, the league's, you know how LB talk, leagues. Well, the league's done. It's over. It's done. He said, but I think we can get this Champions League if we get the right signings. It would, Kenny, that sound crazy, but I wouldn't put it past them just to load up to try to go get the Champions League. I personally, I think they're still trying to go for the FA Cup. I think that's still up there.
Guys, the reason why I asked Jez the question, because he remembers Real Madrid 2000.
Oh,
Liverpool 2005.
Oh yeah, 2005 Liverpool.
Those two teams were probably one of the worst teams to win the Champions League.
Yep.
Mad.
Yeah,
do you know what's funny?
This one's for you. Yeah, Kenny. Oh, hang on, I'll turn the background off. Hang on, quickly turn the background off. You'll love this one. Hang on, let's get rid of that.
Yes.
No deal.
Look at that team. Look at that team, by the way.
Yeah.
Look at that team struggled to get into the top 4, but on its day it was probably the best team in Europe, and I was ascending enough away from winning it. And we played.
It was a Thierry Henry clean through away from.
Yeah, but remember the football we played. We had the best defence in the Champions League that season.
You can see the goal all the way with something, didn't it?
Yeah, we played pragmatic, Wenger-like football
With Sigan.
And remember we had Flamini at left back because Ashley Cole was injured. We played Reyes instead of Perez on the counter attack, and on Reed just basically like scoring the goals, and Lehman being our shield, and we nearly shut ourselves away to winning the Champions League that year.
I've moved in, Penny. I've moved in. All right.
Yeah, good man. Good man.
The funny thing is, because we're going to have to wrap here. I'm just going to have a nice cold shower to wake myself up and go and grab some food from the end of the road. But before this Man United game starts. But when people say, who could do better than this manager? Just say, okay, cool. What you mean, the manager that finished 8th and 8th? Yeah. The only manager in the last 30 years at Arsenal to do that, and he liked it so much he did it twice. Yeah. Unai Emery didn't. Wenger never did. So, what do you mean? Who could do better? Who could do better? Well, this guy's the only manager out the last 3 managers, including him. Yeah, that got us 8th. I'd say Nuno Espirito is doing all right. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, before I get these super chats here, that guy had Tottenham top of the table when we were bottom with Super Duper Mick. He then got sacked from Tottenham, went to Saudi, won 2 league titles, got sacked, come back, and is now above Super Duper Mick with Forest. Make that fucking make sense. What phase is he in? Yeah. Don't worry though, guys. There's nobody better than Super Duper Mick. Unbelievable, Jeff. Anyway, big up, Jack. Did you see Arteta matching slots? Now, do you see Arteta matching slot 20 to 30 games? No. If anything, Jack, and big up for the super chat, mate. If anything, by the end of January, I think Liverpool will be about 13, 14 ahead of us. Yeah, our fixtures are crazy.
What do you guys think about Brentford's? You think about Brentford on Wednesday and on Saturday, Brighton, both away games, both 5:30 kickoffs. Brentford have got some injuries. Got injury to Ethan Pinnock, Ben Mee, but the key players, Wizard and Bomo, are playing. Flecken's their number one's out, but you've got a Brighton as well, who kept again teams that will definitely have more ambition than Ipswich did. They're 2 tricky games, under the lights.
I think Brentford's going to be a toughie. I'll tell you what. I'll give my prediction there 1-1.
What about Brighton?
Brighton. I'll be at Brighton. That's on Saturday, and I'm going to go there 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm going with Jez. 1-1 and then 2-1. I think we'll do Brighton, but not Brentford.
What, Matty?
We're walking away from both games with 2 points.
Okay.
You know what? I think I don't know, man. Because both Brentford and Brighton, everyone talks about that they like to play attacking football. But one thing I've noticed is that when they don't have the ball, they play low block.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially Brentford. Yeah. No Saka to open that door. We're going to have to rely. Both players going to rely a lot on set pieces.
Yeah.
Before the injury, I actually thought we would do fairly well against him before the injury. Like you said, Saka unlocked the team. Without him, after watching that Ipswich game, just to watching it. Because I sat there and watched the game. You notice I didn't say much during the game. I was watching this because I wanted to see how they were going to deal with this injury. And I said, this ain't going to work. This long term, this ain't going to work the way it's constructed. This has got for me. This has got that year when we finished, went from 4th to 5th, wrote all over it. Because this looks like a team now. When you pull Saka out of it, everybody's looking around like, well, who's going to do what? Who's going to do what? And then you combine that with Arteta playing party right back and all this crazy stuff, all these foolishness shenanigans. When you play a team like Brighton, because Brighton's got to get 2 goals. And then it's like Kenny said, they'll shut the door up, we'll take the point. And then you got to go to Brentford. And then I keep telling you, Lee, remember we was in the Carabao Cup last year? Or whatever competition it was, they couldn't hit the side of a barn. If they could hit the side of a barn, they had us.
They would have battered us, that day.
Yeah.
So
their forward players are fit now. Who's there's a Danish midfielder. I forgot his name. He scored a worldie against England in the Euros in the semi-final in 2020. Chat, please help me out. But he's in very good form. Danish international. Can you help me out in the chat? Lee, guys, help me out. Damsgaard, that's right. He's in like really, really good form from an attack for you. And Wizza is just runs defence is ragged, and Burmo is just basically like if you give a Burmo space on that left foot, he kills you.
Yeah,
right.
It's not gonna be easy. Not gonna be easy.
Nah. Big up to Per. 2025, May 2025. Be the year when United fans stop telling us to be happy with Arteta just because their team is a rat-infested mess. Nothing to do with them. Bro, it's going to be peak. They're kicking off in 45 minutes. Yeah, they're going to get banged tonight by Newcastle. Then they've got Liverpool next.
Give us a score prediction tonight, Lee.
3-1 Newcastle.
Yeah, that's what I
Chelsea.
Ipswich, Chelsea. I'll go Chelsea.
Is there another game as well today?
Yeah, it was the third one, I believe. I think it was.
Yeah, the third one is. We can find it. They'll get these likes up as well, lads, and lasses. The third one is Aston Villa Brighton.
All right, that's a fine fixture there. Because they need to win. Villa need to win.
Duran's out, isn't he? He's out. He's got a 3-match ban.
Yeah, he's suspended. Yeah.
I'm going Villa 3-0.
Okay.
3-0.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Bless up Dinesh as well. Afternoon. Whose squad became fucking hell? I'll actually start talking in a minute. Properly. Yeah. Afternoon. Whose squad became manager Klopp? Maybe, mate, I ain't got a clue what that says. I think you meant who had the worst squad. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It means that, yeah.
Yeah, I think he meant, I think that's what he means.
Yeah.
To be fair, they were both pretty shit. The difference is we had a Aubameyang.
Yeah,
we had a Aubameyang ball in the ball in the back of the net.
I think Klopp, he had Anderson and then Firmino, didn't he?
Yeah,
that's about it, really.
Yeah, and Salah.
To work with.
Was Salah there? No, he bought Salah.
Salah came afterwards.
Yeah.
Both the teams were pretty dead. I can't lie, but I'd say
Coutinho as well. Coutinho was there as well. Yeah, Coutinho.
That's it. Yeah, they sold him for Van Dijk and Alisson. Big up to K Prudge as well. Lee, you say this is the manager's style that causes the injuries to players. Wouldn't the same be for the players you suggest that we should have brought? Depends. Everybody's different, I suppose, bro. Depends what position on the pitch as well. Right, and not only that, how many touches of the ball you're getting. Everything goes through Bukayo Saka, which is why he was always going to get a massive injury. Same with Odegaard. Everything goes through them two on that side.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the way.
So, but yeah, big up to you, mate. Jez, what you got coming up, bro? Shout your channel out, mate. Pinned comment, please.
Probably Thursday night, resurrection of the weekly footy chat show. I haven't done that for a couple of weeks because of Christmas and all that sort of dramas. Looking forward to getting back into it. So yeah, Thursday I'll be tapping people up to join on Thursday evening, 6ish, 5ish, 6ish, whatever.
Yeah, there you go. Arsenal history and more, guys. Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta. Big up, mate. What you got coming up this week?
Well, this week, obviously, I'm at the GTEC Stadium on New Year's Day. Tomorrow, we're out for a meal in Hampstead Heath.
Nice.
To see in the new year. Jez, I'll say I'm going to talk to my wife and say, look, if we're going out, make sure it's a bit late so we could do Jez's show, or I'll be tapping you up to see if you and say, oh, maybe I could do it the next day. But either way, I want us to definitely like make music together. Matty, obviously, Matty, you sent me that stuff yesterday about that program I love, ESPN, about Nottingham Forest. I have to say, Nottingham Forest are not going to trouble the scorers, but they'll definitely get in Europe because certain teams like Spurs and Man United are so bad that they'll get it to at least the Conference League.
There you go. And Matty, always love, man. Southern Gooner, pinned comment. Make sure you sub to Matty as well. What you got coming up, bro?
Did a show this past weekend. The transfer scenes of the past strike again. Go check that out if you have not checked it out. 3.5 hours.
I watched it.
Saw you in the chat, Jazz. Thank you for coming through. Came in and we sliced and diced this foolish manager from top to bottom.
Sliced and diced.
Yeah, so you go check that out. I'll be back with you on was it Wednesday, Lee? Well, the New Year for the game this week.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, bro, it's gonna be coming thick, fast, in a hurry. First, I think we got one on the 4th. What is it, Kenny? One on the 4th, one on the 7th, and we've got a game every 3 days, so we'll be seeing a lot of each other. So,
Well, you know what's happened? Player management, has to be paramount. Mikel just has to use your common sense, mate. You could still get a trophy, but you've got to make sure that you're selecting fresh players, mate.
Before it's over, Kenny, we'll be seeing Saliba at striker. At the rate we going.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
we see Gabriel striker anyway most of the sometimes, isn't it?
9 games in January as well. Yeah, we're dusted. Watch out for more injuries, by the way. There's more injuries incoming.
Yeah, yeah. Fact.
Listen, we're gonna wrap. It's gonna redirect to my watch along. I'm gonna go and grab some food quickly, have a shower, freshen up, and then bosh, I'll be there. So that kicks off in 40 minutes. So redirect there.
Have a happy New
I'll
Year.
be 20 minutes.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, everyone.
And hopefully Arsenal have a prosperous new year and win things.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. I'll be back in 20 on the React channel. We're out. Bless up to everyone who's liked, shared, commented, donated, subscribed, all that good stuff. And make sure you follow all the lads. We're out. Conky out.
Varsity Jack is out.
Out, you prick.